Welcome to the No Bull Critique. I'm Steve.
I'm Travis.
And tonight we are doing the No Bull Critique. Tonight we have the
Hochstadter.
Hochstadters, however you say that. I'm butchering
you're
it.
German, pronounce it that way. I call it Hochstadters.
Hochstadters.
There you go.
Well, either way, it is the Rock and Rye, but the label looks a little bit different because we have the 6-year-old 100 proof. It's a limited edition. I'm sure it's more available than limited edition might mean. So right now we're going to go ahead and do a straight pour. We're going to nose it and sip it.
Most definitely.
And then we're going to show you what we do after that.
While you're pouring that, I'd like to give a shout out to the old man. All the old timers, to my understanding. Man, that used to be the go-to drink. And it also used to be for the ladies who really didn't drink, but you know, that could be the medicinal, like cough, and you need a little sip to soothe.
Well, with that taken into account, we're going to go ahead and sniff it. So the first thing on this Rock and Rye, it's got that orange citrus on the front from the bitters. And a little bit of that rye, to me. No, I front loaded you, I'm sorry.
I'm not getting the citrus. I'm almost getting like a honey type
That's
smell.
Probably the rock candy.
And I'm getting a lot of sweetness and a hint of rye.
Oh, go ahead and sip it. You're already there.
Dude. I think that's my go-to word is dude. That, to me, without front-loading you, well, you already tasted it. It went down a lot smoother with a rye than I anticipated. I did not anticipate that.
So,
I think that's that rock candy or that syrup.
that rock candy that's been melted down to make the syrup.
After, I'm getting a little bit of that Angostura.
It's very, the Angostura, the bitters. I think the bitters is what was catching my nose and making me think rye. I'll be honest with you. It's really smooth. It's pleasant. It's a little sweet if you're not into sweeter beverages. But it's not like if you go to a bar and you actually get an old fashioned at like kind of a dive bar or something, they just hit it real heavy with that. And it's not overbearing like that with the simple.
Not at all.
So
for 100 proof, actually didn't have the 100 proof bite.
No, it didn't. It didn't bite like 100 proof, or it drank like an 8.
And it didn't even have that rye sting. You could tell it was there, but it wasn't.
No,
like,
it wasn't abusive.
Smacky in the face. It was pleasant.
I can definitely see why this was a go-to for a lot of people.
Yes.
Like, say what you will, but I could see how some of those old schools were just right out of the bottle.
I agree.
Maybe isn't a healthy thing, but I can understand it. So, given a scoring on the neat pour,
what kind of noble score would you give it?
On the neat pour, I'm gonna have to give it a 3. Like, the flavors are good, but for me, it's a little sweet, and I'm not a big fan of hyper sweet.
Well, taste buds are different. For me, I would give it about a 4 because I do like a little bit of the smoother and sweeter than I do the slap you in the face.
I'm not saying it needs to slap you, but I prefer a little bit more of the...
You like a little more of the proof.
I'd like to taste the whiskey more than the sweet. But, again, I have to give it credit. The sweet is not abusive.
No, it's not. It's not overpowering at all.
So,
shall we try it on the rocks?
We did it clean.
Yep. May have to add a little bit on there.
We're going to add a little bit more to this since we put a rock on it. We're going to let it get a chance to cool down a little bit.
I swirl, you pour.
You gave a shout out to the old timers. Are there any specific old timers you want to shout out to?
Just Pop. And anybody else that is an old timer, OG, that just loves drinking, sipping, relaxing, and socializing. Y'all were on to something. Us young cats, even though I'm not that young anymore, neither is he. But you youngins out there, they were on to something. If you've never tried it or thought about it, I can see why you really need to try this. Not that you need to, but you really got to try it.
You got to put your nose in that. That was interesting.
It's done chilled down quite a bit.
It's chilled down quite a bit. That rock is a good rock.
Now I'm getting a little bit of a citrus.
The ice made the citrus come more forward and it mellowed out some of the bitters.
I'm actually smelling rye now.
No.
Now that it's been chilled.
No, you got it in your hand. Go ahead.
Oh, dude. I wished I would have listened a long time ago when I was of age to drink.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It didn't do much for the sweet.
But it changed the profile completely.
No, it changed the profile. It's still not oppressively sweet. I'm not saying that it's overbearing. I would be happier with this if we let it sit for like a half hour so some of that water fought the sugars down a little bit.
I could see that.
That would help my preference.
For your preference with the sweetness, I could see that.
That said, I'll be honest with you. Hitting the Noble score, the neat pour was a 3 for me. I'm going to have to meet you where you were at in the neat pour. I'm going to hit it with the rocks. For me, the rock pour, that's a 4. That's solid. Like the normal bottle is only $30. The limited edition is 50, 55, 50, somewhere in there. It depends on the price locally, but just ballparking it. No, that's good. For the price point right there, if you go with that and you're pouring it, you don't want to mix it, you don't want to do anything else to it. You just pour it over the rocks, you let it sit for maybe 5 minutes and then start sipping it. This is an amazing cocktail. Yeah. It went from a bottle pour to a cocktail with an ice cube. Yep. I mean, a good ice cube, not just a cup. Well, you probably, even if you had Pebble Ice, you could get it done. Actually, Pebble Ice would probably be really good.
And for me, my Noble score on it, I almost want to go down a little bit because it did change it and it mellowed out. To me, it mellowed the rye even more out, even though you can smell it. But I'll still stay strong and I'll say a 4. I'm that borderline on.
Sit with it though. Go with a 3. That evens out our first 2 scores.
Sure.
Now, this is our first time that we're going through and doing the full Noble scoring on something. And the idea is to do the neat pour, the rock pour.
And then a mix.
Now, technically, this is already a mixed beverage. Now, I brought the stuff out. We have our Angostura bitters, which it already has some. I think a dash or 2 of those will enhance it. Now, I don't have any simple syrup on hand.
But we'll make a maple old fashioned.
I could check the bar cart, but I'm not going to. I have some good actual maple syrup. So we're going to go ahead and take the rock and rye, which is already sweet, and this might make it overboard for me. But we're going to go ahead and hit it with the maple syrup, just a tiny bit. You want to
do it with the rock in there?
With the rock. With the rock. It's doing it with the rock.
Okay.
We're going to mix it in the glass.
Sure.
It's a Noble critique. We're not that fancy. We don't need shakers.
Nah.
We have them, but we don't need them for this.
Nah.
So we're going to just hit it with a splash.
For as little that's in there, yeah.
A little splash of maple. Go hit it with about 2 or 3 dashes. Just let your heart decide. Okay. Now we're going to give it a couple of swirls, building it in the glass. This is not the best way to do it. At least not for inexperienced bartenders, but we're not bartenders, so.
We're critiquers.
We're hobbyists. So now, clearly, not the fanciest old-fashioned. We put a little bit of maple syrup and a little bit of bitters. It just mellowed the rye out more.
Uh-oh. Not on my nose.
Well, noses are different.
Definitely getting a lot more sweeter, but I'm picking up the rye on the nose.
Well, you sipped the last 2, so I'm gonna finish. Or did you? I don't know.
Yeah,
you sipped the last one. Doesn't matter. I'm being greedy.
That's fine. Oh,
So
dude.
I'm going to be honest with you. This surprises me. We added more sweet stuff to something that was already sweet. It didn't take the sweetness and amp it up. Like it didn't bring sweetness up. It didn't bring it to that pungent, you can't stand it level. Before I say anything else, I know we're not necessarily scoring right away, but for me, this sits at a solid 4.
For me, solid 5.
Oh, you're
Only
5.
because now that it's really been chilled and even colder, I'm actually getting a little bit of that rye, the Angostura, the bitters mixed in with a little bit of sweet. The sweet almost stays the same to me, but the
bitters bring the heat, like not heat. The bitters bring Christmas to the glass.
Exactly,
they bring Christmas to the glass. It was already there a little bit, but a couple extra dashes amped it up. So
now I can see why they say a rock and rye makes a good old fashioned. It's so I got to say a solid 5, only because probably the bitters mixed in with it.
Absolutely, this was probably a poorly made old fashioned, but that's okay. We're not bartenders. If I had them, I think the bitters that would have really set this off.
The dry bitters?
No, chocolate bitters.
Oh,
chocolate bitters would have set this off.
Yeah,
but I don't have any chocolate bitters. No. Chocolate bitters or cherry bitters?
Cherry. I can see that. I can see cherry bitters
like
going.
Both of those would have really hit. If I had decided to be a little more fancy and gone and gotten the cherries from the bar cart, that also would have been good. Popping a cherry in this. It already has enough citrus, so you don't need to express an orange peel over it.
No.
I mean, it's not going to hurt it, but it's not a necessity. So, no, I'm giving it a solid 4. So the neat pour was a 3 for me. On the Rocks was a 4, and the mixed drink was a 4. And for you, it was what? 4?
4, 5, and a 3. So for me, that would be a 12 out of 15.
The 3 was your rock.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, we should have let it sit a little longer. I think your opinion on the rock might have changed.
Because I was already borderline.
So you're sitting 12. I'm sitting 3, 4, 4. So what is it? 8, 9, 10. I'm 11. So for a noble score, we're giving each one the opportunity to have 5.
1 through 5.
1 through 5. So
a total of 15 possible.
15 possible. Travis is giving it a 12. I'm giving it an 11. Honestly, we're hitting really close to each other, and I'm surprised because sweet usually isn't my thing. I'm not a big fan of super sweet drinks, but this was super pleasant.
This is where the noble, if y'all been wondering the word noble comes from, it's the noble score.
Yeah.
I give it a noble score of 12 out of 15.
12 out of 15, so that's like a solid B+.
Yeah.
I'm giving it an 11, which is like a solid B+, somewhere in there. The only downside, if I would say there is a downside, is the bottle is a little pricey.
But that is a limited release.
Oh, limited release. But for what you're getting out of that bottle, what we talked about, that's actually... I don't feel like it would be offensive to pay that.
No.
Now, if you're not a big fan of sweet, if you're not a big fan of flavored, now I know this isn't considered flavored, but it's on that borderline. It might not be for you. But at the same token, if you want an old-fashioned in a bottle that you literally just have to pour over a cube and let sit for a couple minutes, there you go.
Yeah.
So before we do our normal show,
almost like a sweetness of a liqueur, not quite that sweet.
No, it's
that
still
mellow of a sweet.
It's mellow sweet without being it's not a liqueur.
Sweet.
No, it's not pungently sweet.
No,
it's not pungently sweet. So before we do anything else, one last shout out to the old timers, the people who knew what we don't know, and people who know things that we're still trying to learn. Pops, be safe out there.
Stay safe.
Drink responsibly. And we have been the Noble Critique.